Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 2283B, and today's date is September 22nd, 2020, and the title of the episode is Supreme Court Nominee on Deck, Deep State Panic. This is a very important piece to the plan. Let's talk about your health. Athletes, celebrities, and high performers are swearing by keto. This diet is being praised around the world because it's widely effective at boosting metabolism, elevating energy, and enhancing mental focus. If you want the benefits of elevated ketone levels without having to actually do the difficult parts of the keto diet, you'll want Keto Elevate. Keto Elevate is the most advanced MCT powder on the market today. Keto Elevate powerfully supports ketone production whether you follow the keto diet or not. That's right, it can help elevate ketone levels even without the strict no-carb policy. Get your own bag for 51% off and free shipping by going to ketowithx22.com. That is ketowithx22.com, or click the link below. Let's get into the economic collapse, political and geopolitical news. Now, before I get started, I just wanted to make this announcement. The X22 Report YouTube channel received a strike from YouTube. It's still suspended. There can be no reports uploaded to the YouTube channel until September 24th or after the September 24th date. Because of this action by YouTube, I decided to implement my own private server. And this costs money because you have to pay for disk space, you have to pay for bandwidth, and video files are very large. And I do 2 a day plus interviews. So each video file is about 1 gig in size. So I do about 50 videos per month. So that's about 50 gigs plus interviews. So what I did was I calculated it out, and it would be about 8 cents a day per person. And if everything should go away, YouTube, BitChute, and all the other platforms, I know there's many platforms. Remember, they're open, they're free. They can be persuaded to block someone. They can have pressure put on them to block that channel or videos. I've seen it before with the X22Report.com site. I used to be on HostGator. All of a sudden, they told me that I couldn't be on HostGator. I was on Bluehost. Same thing happened, and I had to continually move the site to different places. So this site will cost money. It's about $29.99 per year. It's about 8 cents a day, and that will pay for the disk space and the bandwidth. And as more and more people come on, there's more bandwidth. As I upload more videos, there is more disk space that is used. If you would like to subscribe, you can click on the banner that's on the X22Report.com website. If you're on the mobile version, you'll see the banner. It's in red. Or you can go to the tab on top of the website. If you're on the desktop version, it says X22 Report TV. Or if you're on the mobile version, like your phone or a tablet, scroll down to the bottom, you'll see X22 Report TV. But if you click on the banner, it will bring you to the same exact place. You can subscribe there, and that's where you make your payment. And you can see the videos in this area. I'm also going to be putting up exclusive content on the server, things that I can't say on YouTube because I'll get a warning or a strike. So you'll be seeing a lot of this appear on this server. So once again, just click on the red banner. It'll bring you right to the page where you can subscribe. And I just want to make it perfectly clear, yes, I am still on all the free platforms. I'm not removing anything. I'm not shutting anything down. I'm making sure that when they start to censor people, I have a private place where all my videos are, where people can go and see it. This is a censorship-free area where they have no control over what I put on the server. The same thing with the X22Report.com site. So we have these 2 areas where right now they are protected. They're private. And I also have an email sign-up list where it's on the X22Report.com. You'll see it on the right-hand side. If you're on the mobile version, just scroll down. You'll see a little box that says first name, email address. So if something should happen and everything disappears, I still will be able to email you to let you know where to go next. Plus, I email every single time a new video report comes out. So you'll also get that email daily letting you know that it was just uploaded. Now, the deep state, the mainstream media, the corrupt politicians, the panic has really set in. They didn't realize what the patriots were up to. They believed they had the upper hand. They had the virus event. They had the riots. They had the mainstream media. They had Hollywood. They had the sports complex of NFL, NBA, and the rest. And they thought they had the control. They controlled the narrative. There was nothing to worry about. Their plan was going to work. Come election, they were going to create chaos, manipulation. They were going to put their plan forward. And there was nothing that Trump could do. Many of the people that have been looking at Trump and looking at his administration thought, wow, he's going to be done for. He's been letting everyone know that mail-in voting is a terrible, terrible idea. There's a lot of fraud involved with this. The mainstream media has been saying, no, there's no fraud. The mainstream media has been telling everyone that it's okay to mail in. Same thing with the corrupt politicians. This is going to come back to hurt them. And remember, they're having a lot of states now change their laws. What are they changing it to? They're allowing states to say, okay, if these mail-in votes or the absentee ballots, they come in after the date, it's okay. We'll just wait to count them all up. Now, is there a countermeasure in place? Of course there is. We'll be talking about that a little bit later in this report. But first, I wanted to show the panic of these individuals. We have Don Lemon and Cuomo. They were talking about the election and how they're going to have to blow the entire system up and get rid of the Electoral College. And they've been talking about this on CNN, and you can see that they are panicked. They realize that there's a problem now because they thought they were in control. They thought they controlled the narrative. They thought everything was going their way, and now it's not. Take a listen to what they said.
We're going to have to blow up the entire system. And you know what we're going to have to do?
No, I don't know.
You know what we're going to? Yes,
yeah.
we have to do.
You just got to vote.
Honestly, from what your closing argument is, you're going to have to get rid of the Electoral College because the people.
I don't see it.
Because the minority in this country decides who the judges are and they decide who the president is.
But you need a constitutional amendment to do that.
And if Joe Biden wins, Democrats can stack the courts and they can do that amendment and they can get it passed.
And you can see that they just want to get rid of the system that we have today. Why? Because it's not working for them. So whatever doesn't work for them, you need to get rid of. We also have Facebook out there that's going to restrict certain users if U.S. elections get extremely chaotic or violent. They're planning to significantly curtail speech on its platform. It's not just Facebook, but it's Twitter, it's YouTube, and the rest. Why do you think they're going to censor people? Why do you think they've been getting rid of different accounts? Because digital soldiers have grown way too big. And as the movement grows, they can't control it. The only way that you can control it is to censor people. Now, what's very interesting is that we know that Trump's going to be nominating someone, and Kamala Harris is poised to become a leader figure in the Democratic opposition to Trump's Supreme Court pick. Remember what they did to Kavanaugh? People remember. And now, with his new pick, they're going to try to do it again. And now, people will see their true colors because they're going to pull everything they have out against this person. We don't know who it is. Yes, people are making guesses, but Trump is going to announce someone this Saturday. Now, what's very interesting is that Mitt Romney, he put out a statement, and everyone is shocked about it, that he's going to support whoever Trump nominates because it's in the Constitution. Now, does this mean he's going to give a yes vote? No, but this is what he wrote. It is based on the immutable fairness of following the law, which in the case is the Constitution and precedent. I intend to follow the Constitution and precedent in considering the president's nominee. Yes, he's going to follow the Constitution. Yes, he's going to follow the highest law in the land, but it doesn't mean he's going to give a yes vote. Look what he did during the impeachment. He voted the opposite way. Again, it doesn't matter because there is enough votes in the Senate to pass Trump's nominee, and they're planning to pass this individual. And Trump said he is planning to announce his Supreme Court nominee on Saturday at the White House. What time will it be? Well, they're going to announce that time. Now, what's very interesting is that Senator Lindsey Graham was out there, and he was telling that we've got the votes to confirm the justice on the floor of the Senate before the election, and that's what is coming. Now, remember, the deep state, the mainstream media, they're trying to create the idea that you can't nominate and confirm someone in this short period of time. But we have seen many Supreme Court justices be nominated and confirmed in a very short period of time. Trump will be following the Constitution. He is the president. It's his job to nominate, period. It doesn't matter what Ruth Bader Ginsburg said, because I know AOC is out there saying that her dying wish was to wait until there was a new president. Well, when Trump gets elected again, Ruth Bader Ginsburg is saying that we should wait 4 years until there's a new president to bring in a new Supreme Court justice. That doesn't make any sense. Secondly, it was a wish. Is that in the Constitution? No, it is not. So whatever her wish is means nothing. A lot of people wish for many different things, but it doesn't mean that it comes true. So whatever they're out there saying about this wish is absolutely meaningless. You go to the Constitution. The Constitution tells you what you need to do. The Supreme Court justices, they are not the president. They're not in control of this. They don't have a say in this. Neither does the House. Only the president and the Senate. That's it. Now, why is this so important? Well, we know that the deep state, the mainstream media, they're going to push chaos. They're going to manipulate. They're going to try to hold off the elections as long as possible. And we discussed this yesterday. But what else is Trump planning to do with this new Supreme Court justice? Well, remember all those states that changed their laws, like North Carolina, Michigan, Pennsylvania, where they're going to accept late ballots for 9 days after the election? They're going to have a ballot harvesting. They're going to be doing all these things. What do you think the first thing Trump, his administration, is going to do? They're going to challenge all these laws, all these states that have put forth these new laws, because they know these need to be reversed. And I do believe the law is on their side. Now, think about what is happening here. These are countermeasures against what the deep state is planning. So once Trump nominates someone, the Senate is going to confirm in a couple of days. I don't think it's going to take that long. And then they have the ability to counter what the deep state has planned. And this is why they're panicking like we've never seen before. They didn't expect this. They didn't see it coming. They thought they had the upper hand. They thought they were in complete control, which they are not. And remember, the Senate, they're getting ready to drop the devastating report exposing Joe Biden and his conflict of interest with Ukraine involving Burisma. This is coming out in a couple of days. And what else did we find out? We found out that the chief of staff for Obama's former AG, Eric Holder, met with Sally Yates the day after General Flynn was set up in the White House. Today, we found out that there's more evidence on the connection between Holder and the Russia collusion scam. The calendar for January 2017 for former Obama DAG Sally Yates was released per a Freedom of Information Act request. The calendar shows the meeting in the White House on January 5th, 2017, where the top members of the Obama team connived on their efforts to set up, spy, and remove the incoming president from office. It also shows something else, and this is from Technofog. New Freedom of Information Act request, calendar of Sally Yates, January 2017, time of 1/5/2017 Obama White House meeting, dates of FISA meeting, lunch with Eric Holder, former chief of staff, the day after Flynn interview, day before meeting with White House counsel McGahn, and gives us the full documentation of all of this. So the day after Obama's deep state actors set up General Flynn in the White House, Yates met with Holder's former chief of staff for lunch, Gary Grindler. Do you think they were just talking about grandkids and golf and things like that? No. Do you think Eric Holder, who's part of the Covington law firm, do you think he knew what was going on? Yes. He knew exactly what was going on with Flynn. They kept him up to date. There's no way, being a partner, he didn't know anything that was going on. Let's talk about protecting yourself and your home. Burglaries across the country are on the rise. For example, San Francisco has reported a 40.8% increase in burglaries since the shelter-in-place orders began. Don't let yourself or your family become a target. Make sure your house is protected with ultra-bright night solar lights. The night solar lights can be installed virtually anywhere due to the fact that they're solar-powered, zero batteries, and there is no wires to mess with. Night Solar Light is going to give everyone 52% off their own ultra-bright floodlights, plus free shipping included. Go to nightsolarlight.com or click the link below. And here's another nail in the coffin. It's all falling apart on them. And it seems the House Judiciary Committee, run by Nadler, they want to put on another show. They want the Department of Justice to provide witnesses to testify. And Bill Barr said, absolutely not. Because they use their allotted time to air grievances. And they've squandered their opportunity to conduct a meaningful oversight hearing with the Attorney General. So this is not going to happen. I'm canceling that show. So it looks like everything the House Judiciary is trying to do, they're trying to put on another show. They're trying to clog the news cycles. It is not working. And everything that they tried to throw at Trump in the past is all coming out now, and he's winning the cases. The Ninth Circuit has affirmed the district court's dismissal of Stormy Daniels' defamation action against Trump. So everything that they tried to do, everything that they pushed forward over the 3.5 years is all falling apart. And there's nothing they can do to stop Trump from moving forward. This is why they're panicking. This is why they're so nervous. This is why they're going to be building these events. Now, what's very interesting is we know that with this information coming out about Biden, we're going to show quid pro quo, treason. We're going to see the individuals spying on Trump, which includes Biden, Brennan, Comey, Obama, and the rest. We're going to see the email scandal. We're going to see Uranium One, Clinton Foundation, crimes against humanity. And we know that the Epstein case is coming in. Julian Assange will be coming in very, very soon. All of this is going to meet in the middle. So if you think about it and you draw a circle, all these areas are coming in and they're going to meet in the center, which is going to create the perfect storm. And slowly but surely, they're moving all these pieces. I'm talking about the patriots. They're moving these pieces into the circle, approaching the center of the circle, the center of the storm. And what we come to find out is that the police, with all these different operations, they are finding more people that deal in child pornography, human trafficking. Investigators say they found thousands upon thousands of pornographic images involving children on storage devices belonging to a Kane County man who runs a popular educational YouTube channel. This is John Robert Krampf, and he has a YouTube channel, and his channel is about science. And now he's been busted. U.S. Attorney Huber tweeted this out. With 19 hard drives still to go, we knew we had a bigger problem, police said. So we decided to send everything to the FBI field office and get the U.S. Attorney's office involved at that point. This is huge. And what else is happening? Trump, he is creating peace. He has these peace deals in the Middle East. It's putting pressure on Iran. And we have Iran's Zarif saying that he is ready for a full prisoner exchange with the United States. Remember, Trump said, in the end, Iran will be calling him on the phone to make a deal. Now, he offered a deal. This is going to be a tougher deal because they didn't take the first deal. Same thing with China. Trump offered a deal. They didn't accept the full deal. The pandemic hit. Countries saw the problem with the supply chains. They started to move their companies out of China. Trump decided to move a lot of the medical manufacturing out of China back into the United States. And soon, China is going to be sitting there and saying, okay, we would like to make a deal. But Trump is not going to make a deal because China was waiting for who? Biden. And when Biden doesn't win, China is going to be desperate. The same thing with Iran. Trump is making peace deals with Qatar, United Arab Emirates, and the rest, putting a lot of pressure on Iran. And soon, they're going to see that they are stuck. Everything didn't go their way. And eventually they're going to make a call to Trump. Now, very interestingly, we have the South Korean president, Moon Jae-in. He declared an end to the Korean War and to open the door for complete denuclearization and permanent peace. Now, this happened on September 22nd, which is today, and this reminds me of post 4737. It says September 21st to the 25th, track and follow events, and this is an event. What other event did we see? Ruth Bader Ginsburg, she passed away. Trump is now nominating a new Supreme Court justice. It's all starting to come together. And what's very interesting is we know the mainstream media, they're completely corrupt. They're biased. They're controlled by the globalists, the elite, the deep state players. And these individuals who are news reporters, who are doctors or scientists on these stations, they're supposed to be unbiased. But what we come to find out, this is from the newsbusters.org, that Dr. Vin Gupta and many others, they're in line with either Biden or the Democratic Party. Let me read a part of this article here. The liberal media love to pose as the defenders of science, and part of the game they play is by turning the medical experts with left-wing political backgrounds that they hide. CNN hides the losing Democrat political campaigns of its doctors, Rob Davidson and Abdul El Sayed. NBC, MSNBC have hidden their global health policy expert, Vin Gupta, is an advisor to the Biden campaign. In 10 NBC News appearances and 31 MSNBC appearances found in Nexus from July 15th to September 15th, these networks never ever mentioned a Biden link. Back in January, CNBC reported that in addition to his NBC work, Gupta has also worked as a volunteer advisor for Joe Biden's Biden for President's group. One medical website even suggests with all his TV work, he might be considered for Surgeon General if Biden wins. Dr. Gupta is touted by his medical credentials as he bashes Trump like every other MSNBC political pundit. This tactic seemed most egregious as MSNBC brought Dr. Gupta on TV every night to fact-check the Republican convention on the coronavirus. Dr. Gupta insisted we need to ban political rallies on Morning Joe, but he said he was marching in Seattle racial justice protests. We want as much as anything for social justice to take center stage because poverty, racism, they have actually been bigger killers than coronavirus by these statistics. So this is the right thing to do, but to do it safely. But bashed the rallies saying, well, the virus is going to spread in the rallies, but not at the protests because this virus is very, very smart. Now, very interestingly, Ian Miller decided to look at Sweden and decided to look at LA and compared what LA did compared to Sweden. Now, Sweden, they don't have mandatory lockdowns. They do not have mandatory masks, and people were allowed to go about their business. When you compare it to LA, as LA continually locked down and banned indoor dining, they closed everything up, everything skyrocketed. When you look at Sweden, everything declined. So once again, Sweden didn't go through a second wave, but LA did. The question is, why? And I think we know why. Because they were trying to push this to the election period. And when Trump continually opened up more and more of the country, and more states opened up, and more people went to work, and more people went out to shop and went to restaurants, people started to see that, hey, there's nothing to be afraid of. We can do all these things. We're desensitized by the mask and everything else. We're not afraid anymore. And they lost the narrative. So they just had to let it go. If you notice, the hospitalizations, the deaths, all this is dropping like a rock. And Trump, he was speaking to the UN today via video, and he said that China needs to be held accountable. Take a listen to what he said.
The Chinese government and the World Health Organization, which is virtually controlled by China, falsely declared that there was no evidence of human-to-human transmission. Later, they falsely said people without symptoms would not spread the disease. The United Nations must hold China accountable for their actions.
And he's pointing directly at China. And he says that we are fighting against the invisible enemy, the China virus. And he's telling the UN, telling the world that they are responsible and they need to be held accountable. Do you think Pompeo, do you think Trump and his administration, do you think there's going to be evidence that's going to come out to show that there was a connection, that this was done on purpose? I do believe so. Now, James Woods, he tweeted this out. They locked us down, killed grandparents, accused a decent man of being a gang rapist on the word of a crooked lawyer, rioted, looted, burned cities, assassinated peace officers, and now they are threatening to do more if they don't get their way. Oh, and they want your vote. Think about all they have done. Why would anyone vote for this party, for the corrupt politicians? And remember, there's corrupt politicians on both sides, and they are both panicking right now. Now, what's very interesting is that we know the deep state, they pushed out their message about an assassination. And yesterday I reported on this Canadian woman who was charged for sending ricin to Trump. Now this woman has been identified. Andy No tweeted this out. The Canadian woman charged for sending ricin to President Trump and law enforcement agencies in Texas was previously deported. Pascal Fieri tried to cross back into the U.S. on Sunday and was found carrying a gun. She recently tweeted about killing Trump. And remember, these individuals, they can be controlled because we know the deep state has the ability to control innocence. We've seen it before. Let's get into the Patriot Intelligence Insider. There's one post here. This is post 4741. And this is a Business Insider link, and it says Nancy Pelosi wonders how top Facebook employees can look themselves in the mirror because they make money off of poison. So Nancy Pelosi blasted Facebook executives and employees as totally disreputable over the prevalence of posts touting the right-wing conspiracy theory movement of QAnon. And then in this post, there's brackets and it's bold. It says past 7 days, gives us a link to Bing. And over the past 7 days, it's all these articles about QAnon. And down below it says, have you ever witnessed a full-blown international mainstream media constant barrage, counter, attack, re conspiracy? Simple logic answers the question. Why would they be going after QAnon if it's a conspiracy theory? If it's a LARP and all this stuff is fake? Because the people that are looking for the truth, the people that want to hear the truth, the people that are doing research, they're waking up. This is a wake-up call. That's what this is. Remember, QAnon, this wasn't about a cult. It wasn't about a group. It was about an intelligence insider bypassing the mainstream media, giving us information that the mainstream media doesn't want to report on, allowing everyday people to counter what the mainstream media has been saying, to do your own research, to dig for the facts, to dig for the truth. That's all this was. It could be called Q. It could be called an intelligence insider. It could be called Patriot Facts. It doesn't matter what the name is. That's meaningless. The point of it was to bypass the mainstream media, to bypass the deep state players and put the truth out there. And not just to give the truth, but have people research the truth. So they're able to find it out themselves and they can say, yes, now it makes sense. I see how all the dots connect. And this is what people have been doing. And this is why, like the article in The Atlantic, where it came out that Trump called the veterans and the military soldiers losers, that's why that article couldn't even survive 5 hours. Because the amount of digital soldiers now that are woken up, they know how to fight this. They know how to fight the mainstream media. This is what this was all about. This is about control. Controlling the narrative. And who is in control? The patriots are. And this Supreme Court, nomination and confirmation, this is a very important piece to the plan. It happened at the right moment. Is this a coincidence? Absolutely not. It was planned this way. Trump, the patriots, they knew the deep state players, the corrupt politicians, they knew they were going to create chaos in the elections. They knew they were going to pass laws to allow the dates to be spread over time where they didn't have to count everything. They could wait for the mail-in ballots. They knew that the Supreme Court was going to need to make a decision about the election results. They knew they needed countermeasures. And all of a sudden, this just fell into their lap. Or did it? The patriots are in complete control. This has been planned out for a very long time. And the deep state, they are in the deepest panic we have ever seen. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.